Yo, where do you draw the line between influencer and artist? Because I could sit here and be funny, but like, y'all are supposed to be fans of my music. Then you have all these DJs trying to be influencers and all these influencers trying to be DJs. Like, holy Summer Rae, that should be my spot. It's Summer Rae, who doesn't know how to mix, took my spot because she has a million followers. And then like the DJs who have no idea what they're doing on social media, but they're insane producers, they get over.
Everyone wants to be a DJ now, but with the barrier of entry being at an all-time low, how do you stand out as a DJ and earn your spot? Look, with the amount of resources and even AI now, having great music is just the baseline nowadays. But you see, like any other industry, music is a business, and at its core, the product of DJing is shows. But the reason anyone shows up in the first place is the experience, the music, the story, and the way the DJ makes a room feel. So then, how do you create that demand?
A lot of young producers and a lot of young DJs don't realize how much power there is in kind of developing their brand. And it kind of sucks because it goes against the nature of what it is to be a musician and a creative person, but that's just the game that there is. You have to play it both sides, and I think you have to create a brand and you have to create something that says like, this is me and this is about my identity. At this point, it's like 95% of the scene. You have like bloggers and vloggers and people that are like famous on Instagram that are creating music. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of them might become great musicians as well, but you have to understand the power in that. And if you either play it or you just find a way to manipulate it.
So there seems to be this growing feeling that TikTok and the rise of social media is ruining DJ culture. And while it is true that TikTok and Instagram have exposed a lot of people to DJing and producing, where we start to see people getting upset is when people with large followings transition to DJing or producing music.
That's something I actually want to ask you, because now
Yeah, I
all
want
these
to talk about that.
fucking influencers, they get this following.
Yeah,
They just become fucking DJs and they're performing the biggest parties. But it's like,
exactly. Because they can sell tickets.
but is that like insulting to DJs that have grinded and shit?
I mean, I don't mind it like too much myself because it's not like a threat to me at all or whatever. But like, as long as they're throwing a good fucking party, I guess that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
But the majority of people are coming at this wave of influencer DJs all wrong. Because while it is true that followers or money can open the door for some, your skills, your music, and your presence keeps the slot. This new stage only exposes what's there or what's not. But these influencers, however, are exposing a major detail a lot of creatives, including DJs, miss.
A personal brand is your existence online, who you are in a messy, noisy, busy world. And it's something a lot of artists struggle with because, it's like, let the art speak for itself. I hear that narrative a lot. And at the end of the day, we've been blessed with these social networks, which allow for us to meet and engage millions, if not hundreds of millions, if not billions of people through our own means. And I think it's a beautiful platform. A personal brand is just that. Who are you in this digital ecosystem?
Now this is Rob, also known as Rob the Bank, and he's mastered the art of developing a personal brand and happens to be one of the influencers taking a step towards DJing. And if anyone knows how to build a brand online, it's him. But the problem most musicians face isn't just posting content, it's knowing what to post. In today's music industry, DJing and producing have two main lanes that get to the same place, but each one requires the other in some respect. Someone can dedicate themselves to DJing and producing, but without a unique selling point, a personal brand, or something that people can relate to, they'll never be known for what it is they do. Let's look at the DJ Angry Baby. While he's a super talented DJ and producer, what set him apart was how he documented the climb. He showed the late nights after his 9 to 5. He shared the small wins and the mistakes. People followed the story, and when he finally quit his 9 to 5 and started playing shows, his audience was already invested. But let's say you take the other avenue of growing a brand.
There's this idea of mimetic theory where humans don't know what they want, so they copy what others want. And that's why you see this world of like personal branding. It's just follow the leader. And I think where a lot of people get this wrong is you become you publicly. And the challenges are fear. Like, what are people gonna think? How will this be received? And maybe people will hate that. And that's where everyone just plays it safe and copies whatever, it already works. And the ones who really break through are the ones that just lean into completely different. They're the ones who are in tune with what people want and how they are and kind of finding the intersection of those two things and full sending it. Someone like John Summit, how many times has he been crucified for, oh, it's for the girls and the gays. And then he just drops his Britney Spears single in the caption, it's for the girls and the gays. Like, it is what it is. He is who he is, you know? And I think at the highest form, authenticity is the purest signal known to man. And so when you're really putting that out there in the best form, it shines through.
But now, there is a small caveat. Most people don't even know themselves. And in a world where most artists are chasing trends and virality, how do you position yourself in an authentic way that also gives the people what they want?
These algorithms changed back open form discovery. Everyone followed TikTok. I've grown 700,000 followers in the last 6 months after having not, being like in that 200 to 300 range for years. And what it comes down to is quality volume. And so you even look at a John Summit, it's not necessary that he's putting out a ton of clips, but he has engineered like the fan pages. It's becoming less about the home of the personal brand. Like Rob the Bank main Instagram with 1 million followers is becoming less valuable by the day. And what's becoming more valuable is how many times you're seen in the TikTok ecosphere. Because people just scroll now. It's attention architecture. So how are you engineering a level of virality? That's my main talk track to artists, and I just see more and more artists pursuing that.
So then, is the influencer DJ really hurting DJ culture? Or is the influencer DJ showing us that the independent artist has more power now than any other time in the music industry? Now you're transitioning into DJing. You've gotten a few shows under your belt now. I feel like when people see that, there's kind of like this, sentiment where it's like, oh, well, he had these followers. Now he's going into DJing. But, I really feel like the personal brand kind of opened the doors. But, the performance, the work that you put in, that's what keeps the slot. So what have you been doing to kind of cement yourself?
You see it in this world. There's two different peoples. There's the people that get it and love it, because at the center of it, like net, I am bringing a mass audience into this world. Like my playlist has 17,000 plays, and the artists that get it hit me up like, hey, would you listen to my song? Would you mind those ones get it. Then you have the biggest names, like the people who really break through, they get it because they know it's all this interconnected structure. Like there's personal brand, there's the music, there's the shows, and there's content, and it's all interconnected. Like great artists is like, well, what can I learn from you on the content side? I'm like, cool, this, what can I learn from you on the music side? What can I learn from you on the business side? And then you have this other class, there's this like strange purist group that's like, no, we don't like him because he has an audience and because he made money before, and they use the music like it's their superiority, and they won't show love, and it's this strange insecurity, really, is what it is. And there's some big dogs over there too. I see it, right? I'm around all these people, like I've been to most of the shows, like it's honestly, for such an enlightened musical mind, it's such a small perspective on the world. Like we haven't had media engines dominating music since early on, it's like before social media.
I feel like it's a positive thing now because you put the power to the independent artist. You don't need this massive budget. You just need a phone and, like you were saying, yourself, your authentic self.
That's the other thing I don't think people really appreciate, how much work goes into the ones that make it. I followed Summit pretty close and know some of his team, and those guys work, bro. They always work. They're working on music, they're working on content, they're working on strategy. And that's what this is. Big creators, Alex Hormozy, he's a platform. Yeah. John Summit is a platform. You see the end result, but in their own verticals, they have become a platform. That's what everyone has to strive to create, whether they like it or not. You're a form of a media company.
Now, I got to learn from Rob the Bank more off camera, and if you want to develop your personal brand and stand out as an artist, you can download my personal brand guide down below.